at 6.7 is where the Fraser is expected to crest on Monday. So if that does in fact happen, several of these properties behind could be under a lot of water. Crowds here have been chanting "Separate oil and state." It's one of dozens of rallies held not only across BC but across the whole country. Let's start with the current crime scene. It is a big one. Nearly 48 hours after this man was found in this area, you can still see behind me the crime scene investigators. Keep in mind that since February, where gas was around $1.30 in Vancouver, the price has been steadily increasing. And this week alone, we've seen that record high break twice. Here in Squamish, as it is in many parts of the province, the wind has been shifting the wildfire smoke nearly hour by hour. Up on the hillside there used to be a runway. Officials say it was destroyed, all but the windsock that's left. You can see it blowing, and that perhaps gives the best indication as to the current conditions. It remains hot and dry and windy here. And I want you to take a look at the fire retardant behind this business. It shows you just how close the flames got, not only to this tow truck business, but also to the main highway here. This is Highway 97C, the main road that connects Ashcroft with Cache Creek. This roadblock here has been in place now for almost a week. We've been chatting with people who've pulled up to try to get back onto their properties. They want to check on their homes. They're being turned away. One woman in particular was very worried because she owns a home in Cache Creek, which was evacuated, and she has an 85-year-old tenant living there. He refuses to leave. She was escorted back last night by RCMP to check on him. He still insists on staying, so she's hoping at least today to be escorted back in to at least deliver some food and water and supplies to make sure he's okay for the next few days. And it's that uncertainty is caused by scenes like the one directly behind me. That's about a kilometer back, and that's smoke from a new fire that sparked up just this morning, officials say. And it's that kind of uncertainty that will have locals staying anxious as they await word of returning home. That could be perhaps another week or so. So some very strong words from Dr. Bonnie Henry there. She is trying to get that message across. Stay home unless you have to leave. And she did clarify again, you know, the social distancing rules. I don't know if we can do a two-shot again with Mike and I, but they gave the illustration of using 2 arms lengths. I know I kind of have short
close,
arms.
right?
Yeah, we're probably a little too close.
Yeah, but we get the idea.
But you get the idea. You're supposed to be this far apart, not touching. And so she emphasized again, you know, people were asking, can I still go to the grocery store? Because people are going to be in relatively close quarters. She said, yes, that is okay, because she emphasized that essential services have to stay open. People still have to eat. They need to buy food. And of course, with restaurants closing down, bars, nightclubs ordered to close, restaurants still have a little bit of discretion if they're able to operate within those parameters, the social distancing. And keep in mind, we still have the ban on large gatherings of 50 people or more. So as long as you're under that 50 people limit and you can maintain this, you know, the social distancing measures, then she says find creative ways to operate. That plays off what John Horgan said earlier this week, right? I asked the Premier, well, you know, you see a lot of businesses shutting down anyway, almost out of a sense of public shaming because they feel they shouldn't be open, even if they're a small coffee shop that can still do takeaway only. And he made it clear, you know, if you can operate and do it safely, then do so, because we still need to support our local businesses and the local economy. What a day it's been, Carol. It's rare you see the city come to quite the standstill it did today. And if you want to look behind me, we're in the middle of rush hour right now. It's 5:30 here on the West Coast. You can see traffic is, well, next to nothing, and the roads are still a mess. It's all because of this snow we got overnight, and it's continued on and off throughout the day. Take a look. We're not used to seeing this white, fluffy snow that the rest of Canada is used to. Usually it's wet and it's heavy and slushy and soggy. So today, it's really why we saw such a shutdown of this city, is because we're just not used to the sheer amount of snow. The biggest impact, no doubt, was on drivers. I mean, we saw Highway 1, the Trans-Canada Highway. Portions of it were shut down throughout the Fraser Valley early this morning and have remained closed throughout the day. And even the provincial government sent out a rare travel advisory, basically urging anyone to stay home unless they had to travel. We caught up with several drivers around the city today. We found one intersection where taxis, where police cruisers were just struggling to make it around the corner. And we found this driver who'd been stuck for 3 hours and counting. And Sarah, just as you were speaking, I had our producer in my ear tell me that not only 19 casualties confirmed by police, but 50 others injured, and police are now treating this as a terrorism case. So the arena itself has a capacity for 21,000 people, and we are hearing that it was a sold-out concert. So 20,000 plus people in this arena, all leaving at once. And we are hearing, as far as the transportation on the ground, the nearest train station, that's Manchester's Victoria Station, was shut down completely. Last time we spoke, police were confirming they were about to do a controlled explosion. That's now happened, and they are saying that second possible explosive device, a controlled detonation, was basically a false alarm. It was a pile of clothes, so that's the latest on that front. I want to show you a statement again from the arena, though. They're saying that this happened outside the venue. And we should mention as well, a lot of these details we're bringing you, of course, it's a fluid situation, as these breaking stories often are. So we are bringing you a confirmed official word from police and those verified sources, but a lot of this information is coming from witnesses. It is a lot of it hearsay, and so these details, often the death toll can fluctuate as well. So we'll bring you the latest as those developments come in.
3/4 of emergency calls are made on cell phones. Unlike a landline, though, the dispatcher can't pinpoint your precise location. So if you do have to call 911, make sure you describe exactly where you are, and of course, make sure it's a real emergency. Tanya Fletcher, CBC News, Vancouver.